Hello everyone, it's your favorite engineer, and today I will review Raspberry 5 unit, and I got my hands on something that is called Raspberry 5 starting set, and it consists of the Raspberry 5 of course, and the USB power source, and the starting SD flash card, as well as the cooling set and some cable that is needed to interconnect your Raspberry 5 to the TV or to the monitor. Okay, so let's start from the Raspberry 5. Yeah, it is packed with some nice red box, and we can see now the unit. So we have on the back we have SD card as always, SD card connector, and we have these GPIO pins over there. We have a set of USB ports, 4 ports, however 2 of them are now USB 3, and the Ethernet connector, and it is probably the gigabit connector. And for connection of the monitor we have 2 HDMI, micro HDMI connectors, and we have USB version C, so the one that is certified in the EU. Okay, so for this to use, you of course need to have a set of fans, because this small single computer board, it's actually using a lot of power, so it takes up to 27 watts of the power, so it's like a small laptop, or for sure it is a net top value, but it is now comparable to the small laptop, so this is a lot. Just for the comparison, I have also my old Raspberry Pi version 3B. So as you can see, the size is exactly the same, the number of ports on the back are the same, so we have 4 USB and 1 Ethernet, but on the old we had a full-sized HDMI port and micro USB-C. But for the old version of Raspberry 5 I was able to cool it passively, completely without any fans, and it was operating very well. But for this board, yes, you need to use something that is called dual fan set with the aluminium heatsink. So let's open it. What do we have here? Yes, so we have screws and thermal pads. We have this aluminium set, aluminium heatsink. We have 2 fans basically, so it will for sure generate some noise, as normal laptop would do, or normal net top. And yeah, I would need to assemble it. Okay, what else do we have in the set? We have this micro HDMI to full-sized HDMI cable. This one has a logo of Raspberry 5. So this is a must when you want to connect to your monitor. And I also have something that is called NUP operating system on the micro SD card. However, I read that it would not be wise to use it with this new Raspberry 5 unit. So instead I will use the Raspbian version 64 bits, which I already uploaded to this SD card. Okay, so now I will assemble all of it, and we'll try to run it. And now I have to put the thermal pads on all of those chips. So we have the main chip, this one and this one, so 4 thermal pads are in a set. I will now glue them to all those chips. Yes, I'm having doubts where to put the last one. I can see that there are some square-sized chips like this one. Probably I should use this one, because this one is nearby the USB, so it may get warm at some point, so I will connect over there. Okay, I solved the puzzle. So if I take the heatsink, there is a you know, something that has to touch with the particular chip. So this one should be there. And now I will try to assemble all of it. I mean, I have a small issue with these fans because once I put them like this, there's no way I can put that cable over there. So I need to somehow figure out how to do it. And this is how does it look like when this aluminum case is mounted. So I do not know if I did it right. I didn't have any description, so I tried to figure out by myself. So it looks yeah, it looks like a pretty decent case. Yes, it is really hard. I mean, this has some weight really. You still have a viability to take off or put in the transflash card, and there's also, I think it is reset button. So I will now try to plug it into the power, and for this I do have this original power supply, which is kind of big one. Let me show you. Yeah, this is almost as big as this board, right? Okay, now I will try to plug it in. Okay, I tried to switch it on, and I saw that these fans are not, they are not working. So the point is that I was wrongly assuming that this is a fan connector, but it is not. It is named power over Ethernet, and the fan connector is actually here. So I need to plug it in. So this is, yeah, sorry for this, but there was no clear instruction how to interconnect, and yeah, there should be some information basically for you, but apparently it was not there. As you can see, even though there was a fan connector over there, my fans were really incompatible with this, so I had to finally use the GPIO port. And yeah, that's also, I already consumed some of pins. I think this is rather the way it should be done. If you have a ordinary fan without some fancy connector, as it is here, because this one seems to be the PWM connector with the speed checking of the fans, and that is why I was not able to use it. Okay, now I will start the operating system on it. Ah, yeah, fans are quite silent, I would say, so I can barely hear them. Okay, now I started this device with the Raspbian installer from SD card, and let's go through the setup procedure. I will select my country if possible, Poland, Polish, time zone Warsaw, but maybe let's select the English language, okay? And now we go, setting location and everything. Now we have to wait probably a couple of minutes. Let's use the defaults, so the username will be P, the password Raspberry. Let's see if it is accepting this. Then next, blah blah blah. Now I will connect to my Wi-Fi. And it should be ready in a moment. Okay, I can select the browser from Chromium to Firefox. Let's use the Chromium. It is default. And now next. Now it's trying to synchronize with the internet time servers, I mean NTP protocol. And it will be downloading updates for the Linux. I think it's gonna take some minutes or maybe more. It took 5 minutes to update. Let's continue. Let's see what else is needed. Now restart. Okay. Okay. Now we wait. until it restarts. No signal. Come on. Oh, we have even the wallpaper then, right? Okay, let's see what are now the parameters. Maybe if we can change the font. Is it possible? No, I don't know how to do it, sorry. Anyway, let's see what are the parameters of this computer. It should be over there. etc. No, it's etc proc. No, I do not recall how to check it. Just give me a second. Yeah, that was not the etc but rather proc mem info, and here we have the information about the memory. Mem info. Okay, 8 gig, as you can see. Yeah, now let's see what is the CPU information. For processors, these are the data. Raspberry Pi 5 Model B revision 1.0. Okay, what else can we check? Right now let's check the PCI. Okay, you can see the Ethernet controller parameters as well as the PCI bridge. And now let's maybe update the system. For sure there will be something to update. No, everything is okay. So maybe we should try to install something. Since it is a quite powerful computer, maybe let's try to install some AI, like Ollama stuff, right? Meanwhile, I zoomed this terminal just to have a better look into it. Okay, we'll do Ollama installation with the curl command. So let's start like this. This is a link to Ollama shell install script, and now I'm running it. It's trying to download the Ollama. I think it's gonna take a couple of minutes, and after this we'll continue. It installed the Ollama. Now we can check if it works. Okay, so let's now pull some model from the library. I will be using Gemma 3. Ollama pull Gemma 3 version 4-bit means it will fit in the memory. Since we have 8 gigs, it will take a half of it. It will take, of course, a couple of minutes, since, as you can see, it is a 3.3 gigabyte long. It got downloaded, so we can now see how it works. Let's start with Ollama run Gemma 3 4-bit. Okay, it is now loading the model into the memory. It will be using CPU, of course, because it doesn't have any GPU. And it seems to work, right? So let's try to do some prompt. Hello, who are you? Let's see how will be the speed of generating token. Now it thinks. Okay, it works. Maybe it is not so fast. However, it seems to be usable. While it is generating, let me open another terminal for you, just to show you what is the load of the CPU and what is the temperature of the board. Do we have sensors here? Let me install the sensors library. LM sensors probably.
Okay, it is downloading. This tool basically will show us the temperature of the board. Sensors. It's 44 Celsius degrees, so it's not so low, I would say, having in mind that we have two fans there in the case and whole aluminum case. Let's ask him a bit about something. What do you know about Raspberry 5? I don't know if it has any knowledge about this. Okay, it seems to know it. Let's see what will be the temperature now. 59, as you can see. It's getting hotter and hotter. What is the CPU load? 100%. The memory is 5 gig. So it is taking up more than half of the resources of the memory and 100% of the CPU. However, it works pretty well, as we can see over there. Maybe not so fast, but usable. Okay, it tries to explain everything. I think it is quite decent in what he does. Okay, what can we use this AI on the Raspberry 5 for? I think we can analyze the images possibly from the camera that we connect to this device. I will try to connect some camera. I haven't tried it before. I must say that it will be the very first time I will use the USB camera on the Raspberry Pi, and for this I will use the application called Motion. Let's see if it will work with this model. Okay, I will now stop this and let's now install the Motion. Sudo apt install Motion. Oh, this is an application that can use the USB camera to do the surveillance. Okay, now I have to connect some camera. Once we have Motion installed, we can now run it. It is now up and running, and we can see what can it see at the moment. So to do it, we can go to this page, localhost 8080. Yeah, I'm carrying this camera in my hand. Okay, so you can see the Raspberry at the moment. So it is working. So let's now close this page and let's try to do the snapshot of this image, and let's ask AI what it can see on this picture. So to do the snapshot, you are using this kind of command. It is call. It is basically a reference to this motion, and let's do it like this. Okay, let's do a couple of snapshots. So where are they put? So basically, all of them will be in this directory. So this is the name and the time tag for this. And if you look here, let me check. This is something that will be analyzing by this AI model. So this is last snap JPEG. Now let's ask Gemma model or Llama run Gemma free 4B. Let's give him a question. Give it a question. Please explain what can you see on this picture in details. And we have to put the path, so it will be like the name of the file, maybe last No, maybe like this. Var lip motion last snap JPEG. I don't know if it will work. Let's see. Okay, it worked. So it added the picture to the analyze. So now we are waiting until it, just for your reference, it is the image that it will be analyzing. So this is the Raspberry Pi I assembled, right? Now it is analyzing. Probably it is taking up to 100 CPU power. Let's give him some time. As you can see, it's taking a lot of time for this model to analyze the picture. So while doing it, the CPU is loaded for 100%. And for now, we do not have any answer from the model. So it is still generating the answer. I think it's gonna take a couple of minutes. So for sure, the Raspberry Pi 5 it's not enough to analyze the camera images in the fly. I mean, at least while using the model, the Gamma. And moreover, we can see that it is getting really hot. Even though we have these two fans, we have almost 70 something degrees, 75 even. So it is a lot. So this kind of CPU load for this device, it may be a bit too much. Okay, now we are getting the answer. So it took literally 5 minutes. And we can see, what do we have? The central focus is a small black rectangular device. It's likely a dashcam or small portable video recording device. Yeah, it is Raspberry 5. Power cable. Okay, power cable. That means, yeah, let's just see what it has in mind. We can see USB cables. Yes, that's right. Data transfer cable for sure. Charging device. Yes. Firmware updates. I don't know. Black phone? No, it's not smartphone. We do not see any smartphone there. Wooden table, it's basically my floor, not the table. But anyway, yeah, it may be wrong at this point. So it depicts a dashcam connected to a power supply and USB cables. I think it would be more successful while looking at faces or some people or finding some, I don't know, strange conditions. But for this, yeah, it took 5 minutes to analyze this single picture from the motion. I think that is too much load for this device. So you saw yourself how it is performing. Yeah, maybe the conclusion would be that it is a good device. I mean, you can use it in many applications, but for this particular case, like AI, I would rather suggest to use NVIDIA Jetson device. It may be better in this kind of, I would say, application. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe this channel. Thank you very much, and see you again. Bye bye.